had today. We've got players like Aggressive Duck sitting in the loser side top 6 floor, beating Squid Snipe, who made top 8 last time. That's just a small example of what we got today. It's been absolutely absurd.
Yeah, I could not agree more. I've been hearing there's been upsets on upsets on upsets all the way through this tournament, and yet you still look at those top seeds from the UK side, and they're staying firm. And that's the kind of the reign of this new era. But Piplup was a player that was from even before that era, remember from the NASA days. Getting into things already, this is a strange matchup, I've got to say. Both these characters are so fantastic at applying pressure to shields, and then they also really don't deal with that option very well themselves.
Yes, exactly, and so dealing with these two, both of which very much do capitalize on advantage today. So trying to see who gets in first is going to be so huge. Already we saw the Firstbones kind of just finding those initial hits, those small little openings where they were getting something going, and already just weaving themselves around Piplup here.
It's going to be a big thing also because Greninja does have some fantastic tools to stay in the air and apply pressure that way, but Palu is going to do so much to negate that between Bear, Fair, and Nair. But so far, Piplup has been able to kind of get a little bit of control on the stage, but just as quickly gives it up for a bit of an early edgeguard attempt. Yeah,
and I love the use of the neutral air to confirm into that forward air. That's exactly the sort of thing that Piplup needs just to get themselves back in. Of course, Greninja, as we sort of said before, very much an advantage state character. Once they get in, their combos are absolutely ridiculous. Their flowchart is insane. They will absolutely get that damage in, but they just got to get that small opening in.
Very much so, and seeing stuff like that, like the drop jump fair, and then a get up attack. It's a little bit of a not my favorite start from Piplup straight out of the gates. A little bit missing an edge guard like that and then getting caught like that yourself. It's not how you want to start a set like this. But a fair like that to catch straight between Firstbones' evasive options, very, very nice stuff.
Yeah, lovely, good stuff from Piplup, just keeping themselves calm and just following through with that forward air. Now just keeping themselves calm, keeping themselves in their shield, just trying to find a little opening. Good parry as well, but not able to get anything of it. Firstbones not going to be caught unaware by anything right now.
Parries on paper is such an important aspect of this matchup. Both of these characters really do not have out-of-shield tools from the conventional sense, so parry will open up a lot of punish options that wouldn't be available otherwise.
Okay, Firstbones just opting just to play it safe at the ledge, not going to commit to anything, does not want to risk anything. They have a healthy lead in the second stock right now, and they're not going to commit to anything that could potentially take it away, especially not against a character like Greninja. Of course, we see Piplup trying to go in there, going for a low edge guard though, and Firstbones just going to recover high to avoid it entirely.
But they don't really make anything out of that kind of gained ground. Piplup manages to fight their way back really, really efficiently and still keep in control. Even though they're behind a percent, they look super in control of this second stock right here.
Okay, again, both these players now just sort of opting just to play safe right now, kind of throwing out their particularly safe areas like that back air. You see that neutral air from Greninja, just literally just the definition of trying to play safe, because at this stage of the tournament as well, you are not going to commit to anything. They know how important it is to keep the stock alive, especially with the sort of percentage they're at right now. Great parry from Firstbone there, but
I actually disagree with that being a good parry, by the way. I believe that was a call on the Nair. Obviously, it was a fair, so that second hit came through immediately, interrupting whatever Firstbones was going through. That was a really good awareness from Piplup.
Yeah, very, very nice. Okay, and then the back air coming out again once more, taking that stock away from Piplup. Now going to have to go on aggressive, but again, sort of just doing it in a way that they're not committing too hard to anything if they want to.
We're seeing a lot of, to dash back and put a hitbox out behind you, and that's, it makes sense because it means you stay mobile, but it's also a pretty predictable way of trying to kind of net this kill. And there is no invulnerability, on Firstbones there. Piplup just was not comfortable trying to apply any pressure there.
Exactly, Piplup was just opting just to wait there, see what happened, and of course, finally does find a stock with that up air there. Now, Piplup, again, just trying to play a little, so find that opening, goes to the dash type, not going to find anything here. Firstbones maneuvering themselves quite nicely right now, again, trying to find small little hits in, just getting 2 dash tags in a row, and then finally that neutral air connects, going to try and capitalize on the state that they got.
Yeah, we haven't seen too much of that anti-air nair coming on through, cleaving through kind of Piplup options. That's a great first example of it. A little bit late into this game, but Piplup kind of demonstrates that Piplup's had a lot of control and ability to kind of maneuver in the air. But this is not looking too hot. All things being equal, 100% between the two of them, and any hit confirm could lead to death here if you are Piplup.
Oh, okay, here we go. That's where it starts to begin for Piplup. They are certainly, a high percent, but they're not out right now. Off stage, Firstbones trying to go for that trump, going to potentially go for the back, missed entirely. Gets the throw, and
some catastrophic DI. There's no way to put it. There's no other way to put it.
Oh, yeah, there was no lightning. There was just, unfortunately, I think, a bit of bad DI on Piplup's part there. Going to be going to the left. Game 1 going to Firstbones.
And it was a pretty well fought first game, I have to say. Like, both sides of that definitely had chances to kind of demonstrate kind of what got them to this point already, but it definitely felt pretty much throughout like Firstbones definitely had an edge in a lot of the niche situations, specifically the ledge.
Yeah.
It never really felt like they were super pressed on the ledge, and they felt so comfortable when they were applying pressure themselves in that situation. Just happily sitting back, observing options, just hanging out. Because you've got that fair, and Piplup did not prove that they were able to stop that fair from ledge a single time in that first game. It happened a good 2 or 3 times.
Exactly, like the entire first game was pretty much just not even necessarily like combo strings coming out. It was just Firstbones throwing out those safe moves, poking away bit by bit until eventually they were landing the big hits like the back air or anything like that. So we'll see what happens in this game too. Gone to Northern Caves, gone shrinking the stage a little bit here.
For sure. And obviously that's kind of what you mentioned, that kind of nickel and diming. I think that's what you can kind of expect from this matchup. Because both these characters are so explosive, they're going to play very, very carefully because they do not want to get caught out. But that might be a different story from what we're seeing so far. Just tossing them straight up the stage, doesn't want to deal with any kind of on-stage nonsense because they've kind of scouted. I think they have a lot more control on the ledge right now.
Okay, Firstbones again, just trying to throw your heads. Again, sort of any attempt that Piplup makes, just parrying away, just not letting them get even a single little bit. And you see each time, Firstbones not actually really committing to much of a ledge trump there, or any sort of ledge guarding, but just, instead just waiting out, seeing what Piplup does. Very happy just to play extremely patiently.
We mentioned that earlier, the parry, being able to down tilt to punish a blocked aerial is such a huge thing you usually have no access to unless you use the parry. So good stuff from Piplup, but an incredible catch straight out of the gate from Firstbones.
Now that was a nice parry. That was a nice parry. Very nice stuff from Firstbones, sinking Piplup down into the abyss below. Now to try and capitalize, caught in the nair chain as well.
Does manage to find the way out only after the second one, but that is not a good situation. Again, the parries in this set have been ludicrous. Just how much reward they give you. Remember, back when this game first dropped, it was like, well, parries are ridiculously hard to do, but look at the reward you get.
Exactly, yeah, and Firstbones just proving it each time, sort of taking the parries that they do get and really sort of just meeting that mark. But great stuff there from Piplup, finally finding a mark with that forward air, taking away the stock.
Not just that forward air, that was a full true sequence from that 2-hit there. That was a beautiful play from Piplup.
Okay.
And they are not stopping just there. That chase is continuing. They do get stuck on the ledge there. This is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
And this is literally what we were talking about before, about how explosive these sort of characters are. Greninja especially, because you see that Piplup took those few small hits and was able to convert into about sort of 30–40%.
But getting stuck on side platforms, be it Kalos or Northern Cave, it is a dire straight versus Palutena. They have so many ways to approach you and so many ways to apply pressure, and all of them will kill you.
Okay, Piplup just trying to get back, but again, just caught in the nair machine right now. The explosive flame coming out, but Piplup able to avoid it, get back to stage safely, but he's still not been able to make a meaningful mark on this Palutena in quite a while.
No, it has not been looking too hot since that beautiful sequence we saw earlier, and might have been all of the gas in the tank. This is only best of 3, by the way. This is dire straits if you're Piplup's winner side.
Yes, this is literally, your winner side dream on the line here. You've got to take away not only this stock, but another one as well.
And you see, Firstbones goes for that quote-unquote read on the roll, and you see them grinning when it doesn't work, because they know they're just being silly and they're being ridiculous, because they want to just, they have so much confidence and control of this set right now.
Yeah, exactly. This is literally right now Firstbones game to win, set to win at this point. But Piplup still not going to go down undefeated. He wants to find this game, but he's going to have to pull off quite a miracle. He needs to get a combo string in, but with Firstbones playing so defensive as he is, it's going to be difficult.
And especially because, again, Piplup has just not been able to do anything about these poking fairs. The bears, yes, we've seen a couple of punishes, but these fairs, again, just not getting any mileage. Even when they find a parry, they aren't able to, and the falling nair, almost killing, but some good DI. Going to save their bacon for now.
And slowly Piplup has been making the rounds, but again, go to the little top right of that blast zone there, and finally the back throw in. You see Firstbones smiling. He knows he's just taking it away. 2-0. Firstbones moving on through in the pro bracket.
I just love that they went for the funny joke roll read earlier in that previous situation on the exact same side of the stage. The next time they're standing the exact same position, they're like, okay, we'll do the sensible version this time. We'll keep it sensible.
Exactly, and just lovely stuff there from Firstbones especially. Kind of just again, we talked about so much with just how defensively playing, but there was just not really ever an opportunity for Piplup to make any kind of meaningful strings here. We're seeing a replay, of course, come up right now of that final. No, they have the free stocks there. The parry into that down air was absolutely ludicrous, Jasper.
Is some honestly beautiful stuff. That is this game expanding and growing and becoming more than the sum of its parts. We mentioned before, parry was a mechanic that kind of got written off. It was like kind of just being weak power shield back when this game first dropped. And on launch, it definitely seemed that way. But the amount of like expression and freedom and increased options that parrying a hit gives you is, you cannot understate how huge it is. And beautiful stuff from Piplup as well. Even though they weren't able to take a game in that set, that every time I see Piplup, I see stuff like that, and I see these beautiful conversions where they're taking jump from ledge and finding a kill out of it, which is always impressive.
Yeah, it really is. And I mean, especially Piplup, of course, not out yet. They do still have that losers one to go, so you can still expect to see a bit more of them yet.